It's time for Sound Euphonium Season 3, Episode 3. Now, in the last video, I talked about how I watched the Our Promise movie, and I put the reaction up on my Patreon account for now. And that's all well and good. I thought maybe in the past week I would have time to watch the ensemble OVA, and man, that week went by quickly. I had no time. I barely have time to do this video right now, to be completely honest with you. So yeah, no, I really didn't have time to watch it, but you know, sometime hopefully within the next coming few weeks I will be able to squeeze that in, because I know I am missing like a small chunk of the story. You know, what are you gonna do? There's only so much time in the day. But today we're gonna be watching episode 3. This show has been awesome. We've got Mayu, is that her name, on the squad, and I really loved her. From the small amount we saw of her, I mean, actually a decent amount. It was a decent amount of the episode was kind of based around her, but I really enjoyed it. And we chose our song. Everything seems like it's being set in motion, but there's also some tensions possibly bubbling in different places. You know, there's just like small little setups. So I wonder what's gonna happen. I'm excited. Well, let's just jump into the episode. This is episode 3. Make sure to support this video if you can. I'm a small channel, remember, so please make sure to support it with likes, comments, subscriptions. They all help me out a lot. And I have a Patreon account in the description below if you want the full-length reaction, as well as so much other stuff, early access, exclusive videos. It's currently the only way to watch the Our Promise movie reaction for Sound Euphonium Our Promise movie, because I don't have space for it on my YouTube right now, and so it's only in full-length version on my Patreon, but if you want to go check that out, you can. And also, all the content from my Gent Watchers One Piece channel, you should go over and check that channel out as well. So, let's jump into this Sound Euphonium Season 3, Episode 3. Good question. I think it'd be awesome if you went to music school. I don't know if it's in Kumiko's character though. At least not right now. Aww. Good, yeah, well done. Interesting look. Blue Prelude. Yeah, that's definitely an issue here. Oh, I feel like people are going to drop out. Yeah. Oh. That sort of stuff makes me so sad. She's trying. Makes me so sad. This poor girl. But I understand, like, Reina's gotta kind of do this, and she doesn't like doing this. They're flirting. Of course she knows. Don't make me choose. Yeah. That was adorable. I like how quickly she went to meowing. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
自主練はあくまで自主練だからね。私も声かけてみるよ。ありがとね。
Man, Kumiko having to mediate must be so tough doing stuff like this. Not an easy job.
やることがたくさんありますからね。
大人になるって大変。
大人になれば仕事もできて、周りから尊敬されるような人間になれると勝手に思ってました。
You're a responsible teen then.
ですが、今の自分はどちらかというと、子供の延長線上な気
I
が
don't
し
think
ます。
so. You seem like one of the most adult adults I've seen.
周りの環境によって決まるのだと思います。
They show like the milk coffee as if it's like, I guess, like a more childish drink.
先輩は
Oh,
部活
oh, that's a.
楽しいですか？
This is an important question. Is she possibly thinking about quitting?
すみません、なんでもないです。先輩。
Seems like you'd ask that because she's not enjoying
いいで
it.
すか？私に高坂先輩と二人きりになるって。
Yeah, she did give her that look at the start.
サリーちゃん。
Is it that she's scared of Reina?
練
Because,
習行ってきます。
you know, Reina's pretty picky on how you're supposed to play correctly.
何？部長と副部長って付き合ってるんですか？いや、一応付き合ってるって。そんな話に。ほら、同じマンションに住んでるのも実質夫婦。待って、飛躍しすぎ。じゃあ付き合ってない？うん、本当に。本当に本当。このまま行くと1年。
Boycott. Oh. Oh, I love that effect though. I love hearing the rain harder and harder in her ears.
1年生にレイナが怖がられてるって。
It makes sense.
いえ、むしろ集団体。
Man, the camera work in this scene is really good. Kumiko doesn't want to suffer through any more of this shit. It's hard enough for her.
みんな上手くなりたいんだ。
Yeah, they're still trying.
全員揃ってきたし。
It's a bit optimistic, Kumiko.
しかし、それは起きてしまった。
Uh-oh. Did it drop out?
事
Like,
件ですよ、事件。絶対に事
did
件
they all
です。
drop out?
リリー、どうしたの？今日サリーちゃんが休んでるらしくて、聞きに行った方が。わかった。私も行く。クミコも？万が一って。
Kumiko is really
ごめん、かなでちゃん。あとお願い。
really committed to her
もちろんで
classmates.
す。部活やめるって普通にあることでしょ？そんなにしなくても。
It is
でも
a
仲間なわけだし。やめたい子
that's
は
the
や
smart
め
way
て
to go
部
about it,
活から解
genuinely,
放され
Mayu.
るし、無理してしがみつくものじゃないと思うし。あれ、私変なこと言った？
I think Mayu is making
クロエ
sense.
先輩らしくない過激な発言だと思っただけ。
And it does seem in Mayu's character, actually.
私たまにこういうところあって気にしないで。
She's pretty realistic about the club.
じゃあサリーちゃんもここにいるってことだよね。はい、奥で休んでます。そんなに悪いの？サリーちゃん。
Kumiko, relax.
いや、ありがとう。ピアノ？サリーちゃん。押しかけちゃってごめんね。ピアノ？
Everyone's shocked by the piano.
もうさっちゃんが事件だ騒ぐから。そんなことになってるんですか？いや大丈夫、問題ないよ。すみません。
Oh, it's okay.
サリーちゃん、少しだけ話。
I mean, yeah, let's talk about if you're enjoying the club. And
私とサリーちゃん二人で。
yeah, that's probably wise. Let her be able to speak freely.
だから正直に話してほしいんだ。サリーちゃんが今思ってること、悩んでること。
Oh, Kumiko is so
だ
sweet.
ね。先輩、高坂先輩と親友ですよ
It
ね。
might be hard to talk to Kumiko about
レ
it.
ナのこと。でも必要なのってコンクールメンバーですよね。初心者までそんなに頑張る必要あるのかなって。それでもずっとやめないでって止めてきたんです。 結果出せば楽しくなる。
Oh, see, she's taking on other people's pains a lot as
どん
well.
どん練習厳しくなって初心者の子
Oh, and I get this so hard.
それ見ると悪いことしたのかなって。
Man, I don't know if I've related to a character this much in a little bit.
サリーちゃんのおかげでまだ一人もやめてないよ。
Oh.
全員いる。初心者の子は別にした方がいいんじゃないか、練習方法を変えた方がいいんじゃないかって。
But is
そう
that
なんですか。
the right idea?
だったら後悔したくないし、してほしくない。やってよかったって思ってほしい。
Oh, she's proud because she practiced and she got it right.
水を差しちゃいけないと思うんだよね。だから部長って多分そんなみんなのいろんな気持ち
It's a tough
忘れる
job.
ためにいるんじゃ。全部私のところに持ってきて。先輩のところに。
Let me handle that.
サリでもちゃんと話せばなんとかなるんじゃないかって私は思ってる。
Kumiko's incredible this season. I mean, she's always incredible, but she's come such a long way.
目指してる場所は同じだから。
That's a beautiful illustration.
お邪魔します。
Man, this show is gorgeous, isn't it?
で私あの人が部長でよかった。
Oh, that's so cute.
そっか。それで何話したの？コ先輩って才能ある子好きですよね。あ、なんかわかる。ですよね。
鍵は吉井さんたちが先に持って行きましたよ。
Oh, someone else got here earlier. Great job, guys. Committed.
今日もよろしくお願いします。
Oh, it's so sweet.
サリーの話聞いてくれて。聞いただけだけどね。4人休んだらみんな心配すると思ったので。
She played her.
どうかした？
She little scheming bastard.
何それ？
She was pissed off about that.
本当？
They animated her pissed off expression really well.
次の曲が始まるのです。
Oh man. What a beautiful episode as always. Man, I mean, I say as always, but this episode was probably the best of the season so far. I mean, there's only been 3 episodes, but like this was really good. Wow. Like, okay, so I want to talk about Sally's, like, you know, her sort of the feelings in that like main scene there, because I think like it's really important to dive into like how she was feeling, because I feel like I get her. I feel like I relate to at least one aspect of what she's feeling. I mean, she had like a few things that seemed to influence her being so upset, but it wasn't that she was struggling with the club. It wasn't that she was having any trouble with anything that was happening. She's doing fine, you know? It's that there are beginners in the club who are struggling and then they get really upset, and she takes it upon herself to try to cheer them up and to make them feel better and you know, console them as best she can. And like, because like in doing that, she's encouraging them, going like, don't worry, it will get better and everything will be great. And then when it doesn't get better, she feels responsible for that. Man, I relate to that so hard. Like, I tend to console people because I care about them, but also because I do get heavily affected by other people's moods a lot. Like, if someone else is in a really, like, is really upset, it can really ruin my mood. Like, not in a I get angry kind of way, but in a I get super down about that, because I don't like seeing other people super upset. And it can, like, and when I say it can get me down, like, the person can be in a really bad mood and like be feeling really down about something, or like really upset or really angry about something, and it will get my mood down. And then if they're the sort of person who like their mood goes up and down, they might get over it and they'll be like in a better mood, like chatting with people and laughing and stuff, but I'm still affected because mine doesn't switch back that quickly. And that sort of happens so often where I worry so much about other people's moods, and I have to I'm like trying to train myself to not be that, that bad about it, because sometimes I'll like read two other people like arguing about something, and it just like, it's the worst thing that's happened to me the whole week, just because I know these other two people are upset and it has nothing to do with me. But then I start feeling guilty because like I feel like I like even if I'm trying to like make someone feel better about it, I feel like when I exist in their lives, I should be able to solve the problem, and if I can't, then that's on me. And at the same time, in a situation like this we have in the episode, if I was to, for example, console someone and say it's gonna get better, I feel like I'm making them a promise, and then when that doesn't happen, it like, they were right to feel upset, and who am I to take that away from them? And so she in this episode feels like I've been sort of taking this on and convincing people not to quit the club, and then they're miserable in the club, and that's my fault, which is so sad because obviously it isn't her fault, but I completely understand her. I get where she's coming from, and she just wants everyone to be all right. But I love also that when Kumiko was doing her monologue, they showed the class like all doing the march again, and this time the girl who messed it up at the start of the episode, like, they all got it right, and then Reina said something like, this is the most together we've ever done it, and she like looked down at herself with like a satisfied expression, because we saw she had been working hard for it. I mean, Kumiko looked out the window at that one point and saw her practicing to the beat or whatever. Like, we know she's been working hard for it. She was inspired to do it, and it's tough because, like, is Reina, like, going that hard on beginners? Is that the right thing? I don't know. And I also love in this episode that, like, Sally said at some point, like, are we doing this right? Or is this the right way? And I think Kumiko's just like, I don't think so. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can do this, and there's kind of not just a right way to do it. I think we're doing our best. Like, we're gonna fumble through it, essentially. The important thing, I think, is to keep talking to each other and keep making sure that we understand each other's emotions and do the best we can. But I think it's like a really beautiful episode, and like, this is just such an emotionally intelligent show. It doesn't disregard these characters' feelings. But like, I don't know, but it's so not black and white. There wasn't a character really that I would say was in the wrong in this entire episode, in this entire drama. There wasn't a character that I think went too far with something, or, snapped at someone or anything. Everyone was so perfectly reasonable in a really tough situation, and it was purely characters were just emotional, and that's fine. That happens, and it's kind of beautiful to see it play out but then be resolved. And then that thing where like Kumiko leaves the room, and I can't remember the girl's name, but the super upbeat girl, lying back against Sally and going like, so, what do you think? Essentially. And Sally just replying like, I'm really glad Kumiko's the president. That got me, because you could just tell there was so much relief in that statement. Like, Kumiko being the president, like, thank God there was someone who understands how I'm feeling, and I would have been sitting on this for weeks and weeks, or for this entire time, or I might have quit the club or something. But because she spoke to me, and because she allowed me to speak to her and gave me a safe place to do it and a comfortable place to do it, and didn't judge me, and accepted my feelings, and didn't tell me I was wrong, and didn't overreact based on that information, and kept my privacy, because she did all of that, I can rest easy. And on top of that, she said, like, if this sort of stuff happens, bring it to me. That's my job. Like, I will handle this stuff. And it, like, takes the load off her shoulders, which I think is absolutely beautiful. And then she comes in early the next day and is just so excited to work with Kumiko, because she doesn't feel that stressed about that. I really love it. I also think the scene where Mayu, like, where people were saying, like, okay, first years might be quitting, and Mayu's like, okay, let them quit. I totally get Mayu as well. And I think she's right in a way. Like, this is a club. It's an optional thing for people to join, you know? If people aren't enjoying it and they don't want to be a part of this club and they're not happy with it, then leave. And if people leave, then the people who stayed behind in the club are the ones who care about the club, and so it will kind of make the club better on, you know, per capita, essentially. And it makes sense. It totally makes sense. What Kumiko is thinking is that, like, the club, like, she wants to make the club as accepting and wonderful a place for everyone, while also trying to reach their goals. And she thinks, you know, if people are quitting, but they're quitting because of a reason that can be mended, then we haven't tried our hardest to accept these people in. But what Mayu's saying makes perfect sense as well, which is, like, we don't really have room for people who aren't fully in the club, and if they don't like the club, you bringing them back isn't really going to help, probably. You know, they're just going to feel like they can't quit. We shouldn't pressure people if they don't want to be part of this optional activity we're doing together. And that makes perfect sense as well. But that also makes sense with Mayu's personality. Like, I feel like she is super realistic about this stuff. She's like a talented girl, and she knows what she's doing, but she also, you know, just is going about things in a very, like, standard, understandable way. She doesn't draw too much attention to herself. She just does things the way they're supposed to be done, and I like it. I think it's great. I'm very curious where they're going with it. I didn't know, like, that scene being in this episode could have just been some brilliant character work on its own, or it could be foreshadowing for, like, actual drama that's going to come up as a result of Mayu. And I think that would make perfect sense, because, you know, Sound Euphonium does kind of have a little bit of a formula in their drama, and so we can see what they're setting up a little bit. I think she might be the premiere drama of this season, possibly. I don't know exactly what that will be, but I feel like it's something in there. But I don't know. She also just could be all in and, you know, pretty unassuming overall, and that would be great too. So I don't know. Anyway, what a great episode. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you for joining me for Sound Euphonium Season 3, Episode 3. Make sure to support the video on the channel if you can. Patreon account in the description below for full-length early access exclusive videos. And I have a Gen Watches One Piece channel for all your One Piece needs. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.